Some of what she talks about is what you hear people talk about every day.
Exactly.
I got to put the kids through school.
Kids through college, got to pick them up from school.
Right. And then in the play, you have your character has a very close relationship with one other character.
Yes.
Can you describe a little bit what that is?
Sure. Yeah. I have a very close relationship to another character, and her name is Sonia.
Mm-hmm.
And we are the two single women in the group. And I think part of the reason why we are so close is just that we're both kind of going through this journey as 40-something Muslim American women who are not married. We've kind of married our careers. And, I think we kind of bond on that matter. But also, as open-minded as my character thinks she is, Sonia tends to be the one that's actually open-minded the most, but also the most comfortable with where she is. So I think she doesn't need to be as fiery or defensive, maybe, as Ava does. So...
And that's kind of interesting because the Sonia character actually is supposed to be a banker in the play. So you'd think it'd be more conservative and sort of very buttoned down kind of approach. But you're right, as in her thinking, Ava's thinking, your character's thinking is probably much more, I was going to use the word conventional, but not the standard convention. But she's definitely thinks in a certain bounded way. But Sonia seems to... go through all of that.
I think that might be why Ava is so drawn to Sonia, is because Ava is constantly bouncing around in the box that she's put around what is acceptable and what is conventional for her. And I think Sonia is kind of free of that box. She is who she is, but she also has kind of freed herself a little bit more than Ava has. So I think Ava is drawn to that stability, that sense of, I don't know, the self-possessedness that, for lack of a better term.
Right. Yeah, you're right. That's very good. So what would you like the audiences to take away from this play?
Well, one, I just want them to have fun. But I feel like I got an education in a lot of ways. I mean, there are things that I learned about, even like what's in the Quran, and conventional or non-conventional ways of thinking that I didn't realize maybe existed amongst Pakistani or Muslim Americans. So I want them to take that away, to maybe open up their minds a little bit and see themselves outside of, or see others outside of their preconceived notion. But also, I think it's a really great play to spark conversation and introspection, because these women are in ways asking themselves questions or arguing points that we all go through as we define who we are. And I really like the opportunity that we have to kind of just break down conventional boundaries of what people are thinking. Right.
But it's not a heavy play, is it?
It's really not.
It's right. So
it's pretty fun.
Yeah. So even if, you come in and you can just have an entertaining time and then...
And you may leave it at the door, but you may also think about it a couple days down the road and go,
So extra value. Value-added play.
Exactly.
Right. So tell us when and where the play is.
The play Sara Aziz will be at the Playwright Center during the Fringe Festival. We start on Sunday, the 8th of August at 7 p.m. We've got Monday, the 9th at 5:30 p.m. We've got Thursday, the 12th at 10 p.m., Saturday, the 14th at 2:30, and Sunday, the 15th at 7 p.m.
Again, yeah. And Sunday is the 15th is the last day of the Fringe Festival too. Yep. So you've got 5 performances at different times. So if people can't make it at a particular time of the day, they have. I mean, these are all at different times, except I think 2 are at 7 p.m. So you have a shot at getting into the play. The easy parking along the Playwright Center, which is it's at 2301 Franklin Avenue East in Minneapolis.
And I think everyone can go to fringefestival.org, right?
That's right.
Showtimes. Right.
Lots of other shows. Check out all the other shows that are going on there. And then for this play, you can also go to savali.org, SAVAALI.org, and watch the lovely Danielle Palmer as Ava.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for coming on Sangam, Danielle.
Thank you for having me.
It's been great having you here.
Yeah.
In the preceding segment, you heard me talk with Danielle Palmer, who plays Ava in that Sara Aziz. Another character in that play is Sonia, who also happens to be Ava's confidant. I had the opportunity to talk with Michelle Schwantes, who plays Sonia in that Sara Aziz, and here she is. Hi, Michelle. Welcome. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've been working as an actor and director in the Twin Cities market for the last 24 years. Most recently, I've been touring nationally and internationally with several different companies. Most recently, Boston Repertory Theater out of Boston, Massachusetts, obviously, and also Poetry Live out of Asheville, North Carolina. And most recently, I had an opportunity to travel to Shanghai and Beijing and perform there, as well as work with students as a teacher and director in teaching them theater skills and directing them in performance pieces.
Tell us about the play you're in. That's Sara Aziz for the Minnesota Fringe.
Well, it's a very interesting selection because it is a little bit different than your traditional fringe fare. It is certainly more political, but it's about 4 women who grew up together in Karachi, and they've taken 4 very different pathways in life, but an acquaintance of theirs, Sara Aziz, has suddenly gone into hijab. So they engage in a very passionate discussion about how they feel about hijab, what it means to be a woman in today's society, a woman in the American society, and also a woman of Pakistani origin. So it's a very engaging piece that discusses a lot of different points of view regarding the hijab and also women's rights.
What attracted you to this play?
One of the things that I always love about theater is that it's always a learning experience. And this piece really attracted me because it was so different and also so topical. I'm certainly interested in politics and also women's rights, but this had a different perspective on things. And I appreciated the opportunity to be able to engage with characters and also with a world that I was not as familiar with. Being from a Western society and having so much filtered news, it was really kind of a fresh perspective for me and an ability to learn something as I was enjoying and developing the character.
Michelle, what would you like your audience to take away from the play?
Well, theater is always an interesting experience, and every audience member will always take away something different. But theater does serve different functions. One of them is to educate. One is to incite people to action. There have been many riots in the theater because of this. Another function is, of course, to entertain people and engage them in thoughts and discussion. So I would actually like the audience to do all of these. I would like them to come to the show with an open mind, be willing to learn something, be willing to laugh and be entertained, and hopefully have something to discuss over coffee and wine with their friends and family later.
Great. Thanks, Michelle. It's been wonderful having you here.
Thanks for having me on the show. I appreciate it.
We'll look forward to seeing you on stage in just about a couple of weeks.